Welcome to Yin Yoga Lifestyle. I am your host, Colette Darville. Cultivating our body's resilience and inner silence and its application to all aspects of your life. Let's become enlightened and enjoy the power of intuitiveness and creativity. You are listening to Society Bites Radio, social interaction for the mind and soul. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. I am your host, Colette Darville, and this is Yin Yoga Lifestyle. So now let us take a deep meditative breath. Inhale, so. Exhale, hum. Joseph Deitch has built billion-dollar businesses. He's a Tony Award-winning Broadway producer, a consummate entrepreneur, and an enthusiastic philanthropist. And a man Investment Advisor magazine once selected alongside Warren Buffett as one of the 35 most influential leaders of the financial planning profession over the previous 3+ decades. Born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts, Joseph also founded the Deitch Leadership Institute at the Boston Latin School. The institute provides leadership training and focuses on individual growth and community improvement. And these are but a few of Joseph's amazing accomplishments. Joseph is also the author of the #1 Amazon bestseller, Elevate, an essential guide to life, and the founder of the Elevate Prize Foundation, which celebrates and empowers individuals and organizations whose ideas and endeavors elevate the human experience. The organization will distribute $5 million annually amongst its winners, as well as marketing and management resources, starting in 2020. The first words Joe might use to describe himself, though, is endlessly curious. Welcome to Yin Yoga Lifestyle, Joseph.
Good morning. A pleasure to be here.
I would like to say how much I enjoyed Elevate, and it's such a creative, practical way to live life. But you said it has taken many years to compile all the information that is in this book. When did you know the time was right to begin writing the book?
About 15 years before I finished it.
That's always the way.
Yeah, I think it's a common journey for many of us. We're trying to figure it out. And the more we pay attention to anything, be it yoga or life or relationships or business, the more we see. And then sometimes we get excited about when we see the answers to some puzzles and we make some progress. And for me, certainly, I know for many others, I want to share it with other people. And so that was the beginning of the process. I didn't know it was going to take so long, but I will say I did have a day job.
Yeah. So you just had a journal and you would write all these little reminders of how you wanted to create your book. I'm sure you did, right?
I did, and I would share things with other people, and they go, "Oh, that's great," or "Oh," and you see the blank look on their face. So I get feedback that way. But once you start, it's one thing to journal, and it's another thing to say, "Oh, I have to make this interesting and accessible for others," because it would be really embarrassing to write this book and have it flop. And I am not evolved enough to weather that storm.
Well, you seem to be quite well enlightened because your book, you've really thought about how to put this book together, and because it's divided in two parts, and I'm going to describe this to the listeners. The first part is awareness that describes 5 critical insights, and then the second part of the book is action, which describes 10 skills. Now, how did you come up with this formula?
It's one of those things where, like most mysteries or puzzles, you're scratching your head, you're trying to figure it out, you're looking at different angles, and then when you get the the solution, you go, oh, that's so simple and obvious. The
Yeah.
organization of the book pretty much mirrors, I think, how we try to lead and grow in life. We try to get better. Our species, we're about becoming better at everything that we do. But if you think about it, there are various tasks, how to become a better yogi, how to become a better business person, gardener, golfer, whatever it is. But there's also, it's not just about following the recipe. We really need to have a greater awareness. We really need to be more perceptive about what's going on around us and within us. And then one day, it was the lightning bolt. I go, oh my God, it's the yin yang symbol. It's these two things. It's the awareness and the techniques that work together, and one strengthens the other, and it's that never-ending circle.
Right. Yes. And, and a lot of people have this feeling of awareness, hopefully. And, you know, but a person may possess awareness, but not have the ability to take action, whether it's through fear or something else. What advice would you give them?
First of all, I would say it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
And whether you do something or don't do something, you get feedback either way. So if my Tai Chi teacher used to say, invest in loss.
Yeah. Right.
When there's a two-person exercise in Tai Chi called push hands. And when you're doing this with someone who's much better than you are, they blink their eye and they put you off balance or throw you across the room. But every time that happens, you learn something. What did I do? What did I didn't do? What did I miss?
Mm-hmm.
And if we hadn't engaged in that exercise, we would have done nothing. So we never really lose. It's a play on words. And in life, there are many things that we do, and then we can pay attention to what reactions it creates or doesn't create, and learn from that. And if we decide not to do something, we can ask ourselves, well, why didn't we do that? What was I afraid of?
Mm-hmm.
Where's my discomfort? And we learn. And it's the ladder of, what you call it, enlightenment or awareness or whatever you want. It's an infinite ladder. So nor is it probably even two-dimensional. It's just a construct that we make up. So I believe life is about constantly increasing that awareness and hopefully enjoying the process.
Yes, it really is, isn't it? It's about really having fun in life, because life is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be curious, right?
There's a lot of sports. There's swimming in particular. I know a lot of people. I used to compete in triathlons, and I know a lot of people who say, "Yeah, I can run. You run, and I can ride a bike, but swimming it exhausts me." And there's one particular approach where they talk about if your balance is proper, it's literally effortless. Their technique is effortless swimming, and they say if it doesn't feel effortless, it means you're not balanced. You're doing it improperly, which is good feedback, and it applies to so many things in life. If you're not enjoying it, maybe you're doing something wrong. It's not a bad thing to be enjoying what you're doing.
Right, absolutely. And one question I have is, what were some of your biggest aha moments researching and writing Elevate? I'm sort of doing a little circle here and coming back. That's an interesting question.
The list is so long. I think the search for awareness teaches us to be humble, because we learn quickly just how much room for improvement we have. But that's a good thing.
Right.
Isn't it wonderful that we can improve? So for me, maybe the biggest aha moment was, well, this is how I talk to myself, but how pathetic I was.
Yes.
And I say that with a smile on my face.
Hmm.
We go through life believing that our perceptions are reality because it just seems so obvious. If the sky looks blue, that's because of course it's blue. If we think we're standing on the floor, well, of course there's a floor there. Of course there's a wall there. Of course everything is of course.
Yes.
And if we disagree with somebody, which happens all the time, well, of course they're wrong. And
Yeah.
we therefore spend our time trying to explain to them why they're wrong. But one of my massive aha moments was realizing that my perception is, the way I see the world, it comes filtered through my senses. It comes filtered through my experience, through what I know. I'm a guy. I don't know what it's like to be born a woman and to go through life as a woman.
Yes.
I was brought up in Boston. I don't know what it's like to be brought up in Shanghai or in Africa or any place other than Boston, really.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, I'll digress for a second. Do you remember on the internet a few years ago, there was, I think they called the blue dress, or no, it was the dress.
Yes. 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 That was kind of a
So,
little funny and freaky.
for a little, and your listeners can just look up on the internet, it's just called the dress. And they show a picture of what to me was clearly a dark blue dress with black stripes. And
Right.
weirdly, really weirdly, a lot of people didn't see the blue dress with the black stripes. They saw a white dress with gold stripes.
That's what I saw.
And you're like, it's like, well, what's wrong with you then? And
Right.
then
That's
there was,
exactly it.
yeah, then there was Laurel Yanni. This was the hearing test. And the background of this is very interesting. It was an opera singer. They felt he had perfect enunciation, and he was supposed to be saying Laurel, Laurel, and some people heard Yanni, Yanni. There's not even remotely similar. So it's one thing to say, oh yeah, I guess we're a little biased, but when you experience things like the blue dress or the Laurel Yanni, you go, what is going on here?
You're right.
And I'll share another fascinating little tidbit with you. What we can see is we see, vision, sight. It's called the visible light spectrum. It's a percentage of the entire electromagnetic spectrum. So we
Right.
know that we don't see the entire bandwidth. But when I ask this question of audiences, I'll say, what percentage of the entire bandwidth do you think that we can see?
Mm-hmm.
And the average answer is approximately 10%. The
Oh,
real answer, okay, and I don't know if you're sitting down, but
it's
the real
small. I
answer,
know it's small.
smaller than you suspect, it's 3/1000th
Oh,
of 1%.
that's unbelievable. That's
So,
unbelievable, isn't it?
yeah, exactly.
It
So,
takes your breath
in
away.
terms
That
of
it really does. Takes your breath away.
yeah. So, but once you realize how limited and biased our perceptions are, it's paradoxically freeing because we don't have to defend our biases anymore. We don't have to exert that energy and feel the stress from explaining to others why they're wrong. My God, what's wrong with you people?
Yeah.
Instead, it allows us to be curious. And one experiment that I suggest to married couples is when they ever get into a disagreement, and you don't have to be married, just anyone with whom you have a close relationship with,
Yeah.
could be siblings, could be work colleagues. When you have a disagreement, instead of going to your respective corners and battling it out, just say to the other person, you're smart, you've got